This time of year, you're sitting down, you're setting up plans. We're going to talk about goal setting today, especially as the first month is almost over, right, Bobby?
That's right.
So what did you do setting goals for your team every time, like working each one with each one member of the team, say what kind of goals you wanted to set for each one of them?
Well, are we talking about the business goals or
The
just goals
business,
in
the business
life?
of your of especially what you did in Market America, how you set goals for each one of members of your team.
I think the if it evolves around, some people love to sell. I was never much of a product salesperson, so but yet that's an aspect of the business. So the goals would be what's the game plan. That's what goals are really. It's what do you want to achieve and how you're going to go about doing it. So, you know, you could set a number. I want to be at 5,000 a month, and that's great to do that. But what's more important to get there is the action plan. So the action plan to me is more of the really tangible goals and things your action steps. So that would be, I'm gonna same thing we talked about earlier. I'm gonna talk to so many people a day. My goal is to bring in, two people a month. I'm gonna retail 400 a month of product. Whatever those goals are that you want to move forward in your business. From a recruiting standpoint, which is my main thing, it's not so much, like I said, the retail end is how many people a day am I going to talk to? Because I always believe you can't twist anyone's arm to join. So all you can do is play the numbers. You can't even see how many people are going to be interested. What is the only thing you can control? How many people you speak to a day. So again, I feel if you speak to three people a day, you'll get that one person interested. That'd be 30 people a month you're working with. And from there, you should be able to show so many presentations and recruit, two or three people a month, which is in any business is phenomenal. So I think the biggest thing I would say is three people a day.
Now, you're always bringing up that three people a day. What about you and how you motivated each member of the organization and set goals for yourself?
Well, my goals would be is well, the other thing we do is when you bring someone in, you work with them and you do what we used to call corings, where you might have a Saturday, and if we start building up the group, we'll do that. Where it's like a training. Everyone who's in the business can get on, and we talk about what's holding them back, what's working, what isn't working. So that's the only way I motivate people is to stay in contact with them and just reiterate the basics. I mean, it's not a complicated business. Talk to three a day, do your product, whatever, keep in touch with your people. It's what you do and teach people to do the same thing, basically.
Right, because that's important, and education is such an important thing, especially when you're talking about a product-based business.
Yeah, well, the thing is, when I have a getting started guide for everything we're going to be doing, and one will be the steps, learn about the product, learn about the compensation plan, learn your back office. So that it'll be written out, and you don't have to be a product expert before you start. You just want to learn the basics about whether it's one or two sizzle products that your company has. Like in our case, we got the cell defender and such. So you want to learn the most highlighted points of the certain products, and then you want to have a basic understanding of the compensation plan. You don't have to delve into the weeds, but you want to have a basic, and then you want to know what your recruiting method is. I'm going to send them a video. They got live Zooms. They got the recorded video. How am I going to go about bringing people to the table?
Right, exactly. And how you go about bringing people to the table, so important in this business.
Yeah, there's really only two methods. I mean, the way the recruiting process works is you speak to three a day. You hope to strike interest in at least one of them. That's 30 people you work with. Now you're in what we call process. Are we trying a product? Are we getting on a three-way call with your upline? Are we getting on a Zoom? Now, when you're ready to show the plan, well, how do we show the plan? It's going to either be a live Zoom or a recorded Zoom. So we'll have up on our site the 24/7, 20, 30-minute Zooms that talk about the product, the compensation of the company. But we also do live Zooms where we can just get a person on and speak to them, in a group setting and do the live presentation. So it's all about seeing the presentation. After the presentation, very important. Where's the fortune, Neil? The fortune's in the follow-up.
Follow
So
up.
you say, Neil, before you even see it, listen, we're going to get on Tuesday night, you know, Joey Smith showing the plan. I think you're going to love it. When can we do our follow-up? Let's book it now. Because if you get on a Zoom, you watch the Zoom, and then I call you up, hey, Neil, I want to see what you thought about it and what our next step is. And I play phone tag, and now a day goes by, 2 days go by. You know, do I call you again? It's like when you're dating a girl. Do I call them every day, or do I got to skip a day strategically so they don't think I'm desperate? So it's better off, instead of going down that path, I just say, Neil, the presentation's Tuesday. You're going to be on. How about Wednesday at 4? We discuss the next step if you're interested. It makes sense?
It makes complete sense. And it's a process, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And then you might have to get them from there. They might want to get on a three-way with your senior partner, hear a little bit more, try product, or just boom, let's get started. I mean, working with some of the things we're doing, they're not big plays by no means. So it's just, let's get started. But I respect people that if they're going to put time in and make a decision to go forward, they want to have an understanding of what they're going to be doing, and I don't have no problem with the follow-up as long as there is a next step. You never want to be like, okay, Jim, where'd I leave off with you? Same thing we're doing with conventional businesses, Neil. It's like whatever the game plan is, you write it out and you say, okay, we did this. What's the next step? And then you do that. Okay, what's the next step? Because based on the results you get, the next step could be fluctuating. So as long as you have a next step and a game plan and you follow through, you're on track.
So how did you say you were a really good recruiter?
No,
What made
actually, I wasn't a big recruiter. I
what was your big expertise
It
to
was
keep
mostly
consistency?
training and motivating and showing, because I happen to be working with a lady that made $1 million, and she didn't have time to do the recruiting, not the recruiting, but to show the plan, the training. So she'd get them interested. Why? She was making $1 million a year. You got to look at this. Bobby's going to call you. So I didn't really have to do a lot of pitching because I had her just funneling leads to me, and I was the one that took them through the process.
Because that's it. You run into time, you have to have a team to make it happen. And that's what you try to do, build a next 4 million, a team of top level people that you can learn from.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everyone. Look at we're gonna work, and you don't have to be a superstar. You bring in someone who tells someone, and 5 levels down, that superstar comes in and brings in 100 people from South America or something. So the point is, every dud knows a stud. So just do your talk to 3 people a day and let the chips fall out.
All right, go to next4million.com. Appreciate it, Bobby. And
All
we
right.
will talk very
Uh,
soon. That was a special simulcast Neil Hayes show and the next 4 million podcast, guys. Take care.